Welcome to Late Night SVPod with Stanford Steve down. He's going to tell me where he is in a minute. Red's on the floor. He heard the P word earlier, was very excited. That's podcast, you filthy animals. Get your head out of the gutter. You're in where, Steve?
I'm in Aventura, Florida. Moved hotels after the show today to be closer to the stadium because it's an absolute disaster. And then we're flying out of Lauderdale tomorrow.
Gotcha.
So we're good.
Lot to discuss.
What a day.
Lot to discuss. I'm going to ask you this because the game you were at with Game Day, great scenes, great vibes, Pat and a Speedo. Didn't know we were getting that. Did you see any of what Indiana did tonight? Or you're at the game? I get it.
I just went back and watched the highlights. I wasn't able to watch it live.
Well, let me tell you something real quick. Because Miami, your number one team, looked the part. The Gators defense did what it could to keep him in it. Lagway continues to have a lot of issues, but he did just play against LSU, and then Miami's defenses might have something to do with it. I just want to – what Indiana did to Illinois tonight got my attention. You said over and over throughout the summer, they're better than they were last year. Buddy, they beat the absolute snot out of a good Illinois team tonight. Here's some numbers. They had 22 more first downs than Illinois. They had 418 more yards than Illinois. They had 53 more points than Illinois. Fernando Mendoza at the half, well, forget at the half. He had 5 touchdowns and 2 incompletions on the night. Just Indiana, I see you. You go to Iowa, then you go to Autzen. So back-to-back Iowa, then Oregon. But what you did in the first ranked game between Indiana and Illinois in 50 years on a night they set a record for the most folks at the stadium there in Bloomington, that was eye-opening. Eye-opening. What they come in ranked? Illinois was top 10 and Indiana was like 15 or something.
Were they?
I don't know, 17, 8, whatever. I can't read the number. It was in the teens. And look, they didn't challenge themselves in the out-of-conference. They played nobody. Well, they played the number 9 team in the country tonight, and they beat the absolute brakes off them. That was as impressive as anything I saw. I want to start with that. And again, Steve's at the game in Miami, so not watching. I watched it. Eye-opening. Eye-opening. So we'll just get that out of the way early. That's as impressive as anything I saw was Indiana. Again, next 2 on the road. Go ahead.
When you say impressive, you think they could beat anybody in the Big Ten?
Yes.
Anybody.
I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Look, they haven't left their stadium yet. The next 2 weeks we'll find out. But like, look, you and I both felt like Mendoza last year at Cal was a real one. And he got weapons at wide receiver. Weapons. The ball hit the ground twice, Steve. 2 incompletions, 5 touchdowns against a top 10 team. So I don't know. I'm not going on here and hot taking you and saying they're as good as Ohio State, or as good as Oregon, or as good as Penn State or Michigan. Like there's some heavyweights in this league. I'm just saying they're in that group. We'll find out where they are, but they like tonight. I thought that line, and the more I thought about it, I'm like, Indiana's going to win this game. Win this game's one thing. Obliterate Bielema's group? Didn't see that coming. So I'm saying right now, if they beat any of these teams in the Big Ten, it won't surprise me. But you get in there and get out there to Kinnick. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But we saw tonight. Illinois sure did. The game you were at, the place you were at, how much ass sweat, Steve, this morning?
Oh, God. I'm finally dry, Scott. Like from 7, I go off Sports Center at 7:30, and from that till noon, it's disgusting.
Like
Herbie,
a pig.
like Herbie sweats more than anyone, and like people like were lined up like right on the edge of our set, and like he's wiping himself off. He's got an air conditioner hose the size of I don't even know.
They got to have like a pit crew to towel him off because he's like a Steve Levy level sweater.
Yeah, but he's talking to people and he's like, "How do you do it?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "How do you live here? I can't do it." I mean, I have already taken 3 showers today because then we get in the car and we go right up, come up here, check in a hotel, and then let's get the games on. We go right to the stadium. But the funny thing was, as soon as the show ended, we got in our car and it started pouring. And I'm like, man, that would have felt good if we could have got some drops while we were out there. But then we go out for pregame and it's raining
again.
Yep. And it's just raining, and I think that played a lot into the game. Watching Carson Beck not really sharp. Lagway struggled throwing on the run. It was super wet. The conditions were not great, and I think that's what caused the sloppiness from the quarterback play and trying to. You saw, especially when guys were rolling right, ball falling out of their or rolling out of their hands or slipping out of their hands, whatever you want to call it. But the range of moisture was pretty persistent for about 12 hours. And we're good now. We're dry, and
that's South Florida. That's South Florida in a nutshell. Like the sun will come out, it'll be brilliant blue sunshine, very humid, and then in the blink of an eye, you're in the middle of a you're schwitzing like a dog. Then it's raining sideways, and then the sun comes back out. Then it does it all over again. That's South Florida. That's what you get. But I thought the scene was cool. Look,
what a campus, Scott.
Oh, Coral Gables.
Oh my God,
buddy,
unbelievable. And you know what?
High end.
Yes. We'll get to one of our favorite spots that kicked off the weekend. But very, very, very impressed with how many people went to class on Friday. I mean, we were right in the middle of Student Union Center. What a food court they got, the bookstore, the pool's right there. That's the freshman dorms are on the other side of the pool. But man, I never, when we go to events, it's usually South Beach or Lauderdale. Where you say you're never going to go to Coral Gables. But man, we went to Desmond's house. What a setup he has. My man does it proper. That man is dialed in, man. He does it the right way.
As he awesome. Should. He's Desmond Howard.
Correct. And it was awesome.
It's hard to do a Heisman pose when you're sitting, but I don't know. I look like I don't know what I look like I was doing.
I thought you were going for stop in the name of love.
That, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to, it's peepaw vision right now.
Yeah.
I bet it is a good setup, and it ought to be.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He's earned it.
He's a man.
I've been there. The U campus is correct. I mean, high end higher education. And they got a squad, Steve. You said they're the best team in the country. They're eye-opening on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Get after you on both sides of the ball. That's been football forever. Look, eye candy, high-end athletes in skill positions, that's different. It's elevated. But if you can push people around up front, you win football games. They do.
Yeah, both sides of the ball. I thought it was interesting. You could kind of tell Mario was kind of agitated with the situation with, as Coach Saban calls it, all the rat poison this week, and I was number one culprit. I watched the tape, and I was like, you guys are the best team in the country. And he's like, we got to get this game played. I've been on their ass all week in practice. Stop listening to it. You got a really tough football team coming in, and I thought, again, you're not going to question Florida's toughness. That team hangs around, and they go to the fourth quarter in a one-possession game again.
They got stopped on fourth down. You got if you're 4th and 3, you can't run a 2-yard route.
Yeah. So again, that's the players. That's not the coach.
I understand their quarterback. This is 2 weeks in a row. Lagway, came into the season highly touted. There were questions about his health. We were just all hoping he was going to, hope he's healthy. He's had 2 really bad games. And they're going to be difficult because LSU's defense and Miami's defense are serious. But if you're that guy, then you've got to be better than this. Point blank, period.
It's pretty eye-opening when Herbie came out of the coaches' meetings with Napier. I think he said on the broadcast tonight, too. There's a 5th week of practice DJ Lagway's had. That just shows you the rust and the non-time he's had with the team. And it's so unfortunate because, as Coach Saban said, this is the best roster Billy's had since he's had the job. And they can't take the next step. And, you're talking about these defenses. If there's one thing Texas has, they got another defense. So Florida goes into a bye, and that defense will travel to the swamp. You know that. So, again, they're up against it. He doesn't want – I thought Billy was great in the press conference earlier this week where he said, they say the sign of a broken man is when he starts making excuses, and I'm not doing that. That's not me. So they know what they have to do, and credit to Miami. It's a tricky situation. With this idea of a 2-loss Florida team coming in and everybody expecting you to win and getting all the accolades. But, man, they are tough on the line of scrimmage. And they fly to the football.
Yeah, they
defense.
do. Man. It's a group. It's like Raptors, like in that first Jurassic Park when there's always multiple white hats flying to the football. Always. Swarming on defense. That's a hell of a month. You beat a good Notre Dame team to start it off. You play a good South Florida team, beat them easy. In the end, you win this going away, but it's a 6-point game into the fourth. Beck was not great. You point out the weather. I wasn't there. I think that's part of it, but I think a larger part of that is this Florida defense that's got so much heart and fight. It's got to be just debilitating for them to just keep giving their guys chances and come off the field and turn them over and be like, all right, guys, just give us something. And they just can't. Yep. And eventually, you got to punt it back, and Miami goes on a lengthy drive and takes it from 13-7 to 20-7, and then that's, there's the late scores after Florida has to go for it. So, I don't know, man. It's a month in, Miami's really showed you that they're, I don't know, you've got them listed as the best team in America. I said the other night on the show, they're good, they're playoff good. And this year, that's all we really need. Just give me a seat at the table. I don't know who's great yet. We shouldn't know yet. It's the middle of September. But if they're a team that goes deep into a playoff, it would not shock anyone, right? Based just on what we've seen early on.
No, I thought Coach Saban said too. He's like, we have all these undefeated teams, 3-0, 2-0, whatever you are. He's like, this is where I want to start seeing who could play defense.
There you go.
And Miami has proved that in every single game. The way they come at you, and Florida's down 3 of their NFL guys on the defensive line, and Gums and Banks were great last week when they played. They don't have them, and you saw Florida. That's the other thing, that whistle play where Miami scores. And then they have a chance to down the punt, but the kid's standing in the end zone, and then Florida takes advantage and gives you everything they have to get a touchdown on the board. And then, they have the ball down 6 to start the fourth quarter, and they couldn't do it.
Yep.
So kind of the, same old. But again, I want to give credit to these teams that are winning because I think that's the most important.
Absolutely. I've got notes on stuff throughout the day. Go in order of like early morning up until now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wherever you got the card, go.
Texas Tech spent a lot of money on their defense, and it sure looks like it's paying off. I think that was a matchup that was compelling.
Nice.
Compelling.
Nice.
I should have written them all down on the card. I had a whole list. One of our listeners sent a long list of options. I favorited it, but I don't have it because I've got. Okay. Anyway, a compelling matchup is the O-line of Utah that's got, by most accounts, not one but 2 first-round picks, and the edge rushers that Texas Tech has got. Sort of like, what are we going to see there? But then I think what comes out of it that's as interesting as anything in a game where no one could do much, if anything, was you get the kid Will Hammond, freshman out of Austin, that comes in because he kept having injuries to Morton, the quarterback, who had to leave not once but twice. Makes a couple of throws there. Texas Tech, Steve, they don't have a ranked opponent on their schedule the rest of the way. Now, it can change. People can play themselves into rankings, obviously. But just as we speak right now, they're not scheduled to face a ranked team. And it's real early. I think last year I think I might have had 6 different teams I said were the favorite in the Big 12 last year. But Texas Tech's right there with anybody at the moment. To go into Rice-Eccles and to put the clamps on them, they were on one of the screens as I'm watching throughout the day, and I just kept it. I mean, it was boring, but it was boring because the defense showed up and stayed after it all day long. It's a really impressive victory for Texas Tech.
No doubt. I love. Somebody said it was Cash Money versus the Muss. That was the matchup today, and Cash Money showed up, man. Maybe it's just because I've never seen a Texas Tech team play like this in my life,
right?
Where they've had a defense, on
the card it says, "Who is this?" Like, this is the team that used to they'd give up 55, but they'd win because they'd score 60, right? I mean, Who are you playing in a defensive, sort of a slog? But I mean, they hold Utah to 10. Look, you spend the money. It's money well spent. As you've told me, as Nick Saban says, you spend the money on the wrong guys, good luck. Well, it sure seems like their cash is spending.
And I think that deserves a lot of credit because not a lot of people know who Joey McGuire is, but the people that do know him respect the hell out of him, knowing the roots he has in the old Texas high school.
The state of Texas, he's got a lot of juice. A lot of juice. But Matt, you know what, Steve? Steve, there's been a lot of those guys. Been a lot of different guys through the years that had big-time Texas roots, and then it just doesn't translate. And that's not a knock on the guys that didn't work for her. To me, it just shows you how hard it is for it to translate at the next level, and it is for him.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Is he deserves a lot of credit because everybody just says, "Oh, he's got the biggest checkbook." You still have to assess the right talent. You still have to bring in the right talent, and you have to mold it all together. And when you look at that defensive line with a kid from Georgia Tech, a kid from Stanford, where is the other one from? I forget. Was it Michigan? No. Anyway, it says a lot because you don't have a lot of time in this day and age. And to get it together and play 3 cupcakes and then have it ready to go in the place that I've been, that's very, very tough. And we said on the show today, it's kind of like we trust Utah more because we never really see them lose at home. But they got bullied today. Texas Tech did a great job of causing turnovers early. They forced Dampier to have to throw the ball, which is not his strength. And I think it says a lot about what Utah played. UCLA, we've seen what happened there. And those teams couldn't force Utah in tough situations, with Texas Tech made a living off today. But that thing's 13-10. You don't know which way it's going to go. And then that ends 34-10, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hammond made some plays, and that's a big-time victory. And, again, you look at the road ahead with a clear understanding.
The easiest schedule in the country.
Well, there's not a lot of obvious obstacles in their way. Shout to Coach Corso. They're 18 to 22-year-olds. You don't know from week to week. A lot of rat poison in Lubbock. They're going to have to be fighting that because there's going to be a whole lot of backslapping. But I'd say they earned the praise for this one. Speaking of defense, the defenses, plural, on the field in Norman between the Sooners and the Auburn Tigers, those are both playoff defenses. Okay, I believe. Late safety, pretty tough. But if you're a Sooner fan and you bring in Venables and you're waiting for the defense to post, well, you got home dubs against Auburn and Michigan because your defense is that good. They had 10 sacks, the last of which made it a 24-17 game. I want to be fair to Jackson Arnold, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be fair to Jackson Arnold. You're going back to where you went. You left, go down to the Plains. I'm sure there's a lot involved, and he's a young guy. He made some plays with his legs, and they fought. But, man, Steve, I don't know if you saw it. They had a number of opportunities. A double move that's got to be 6. Had a couple of guys running nude, missed them. And when you're under the kind of duress he's under, it's understandable. I just would think that there's going to be some moments on tape that's hard to look at because there were a couple of opportunities Auburn had to grab it, and they just couldn't. And in the end, when it matered, when it really matured. Now, when it mattered, man, that dude, he's not the biggest cat, but boy, he's got some friggin' Sam Cassell, give me the wheelbarrow for these. He's got the minerals, man. Made winning plays when winning plays had to be made. I loved watching that game because it shows you that defense can still win, and one of the defenses was going to get the dub. In the end, the Sooners did. I'm curious what you saw. Am I being too harsh about what I'm saying on the Auburn side? I felt like there were a couple of moments where there were giant chunk plays they could have gotten, and when they missed them, I'm like, oh, that's gonna cost you.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch because I got caught. We were going out to pregame, see warm-ups and stuff like that. But I'm on a text thread with Thamel and Reese, and Reese said there was like 5 or 6 calls he thought Auburn got totally hosed on.
That's on the list too.
He sent a still of Coleman getting tackled on a ball down by the goal line, and I guess there was no call.
But they ended up scoring on that drive.
Okay.
They did end up – I mean, that was a PI that was just – they didn't call. There was the play where, you leak your wide receiver off the field, kind of that sneaky number, and then he's running wide open for a touchdown, which I guess they don't call it. Good for you.
What'd you think of the overturn to make it 7-0, and then they took it away?
I thought the ball was coming out, and then I could see where they said he secured it enough against his body. But I'm saying, watching that, if you called out a fumble on the field,
yes,
I don't know that he had the ball. If you said he was down, I would say I don't know that it was coming out. But I don't know that that he had the ball. I thought that was 6 for Auburn.
You can't overturn that.
That's what
whatever it is. Yeah, I thought that was a brutal call, and it's one of those where you're up against it. You need something like that to go your way, and then it gets flipped the total opposite way. That was a brutal call. But again, to your point, Auburn kept putting themselves in position, and again, they couldn't do it, and it was self-inflicted. It was physical mistakes. It was mental mistakes.
They're good though. That's a good team. I just think
those guys on the perimeter are studs, man. They're all cracked. They cracked up to be. I said all week Oklahoma was going to win this game because of their defense, not because of John Mateer. That defense is real. And I think it was 3 snaps in the second half where our Mason comes over the top and Jackson's holding on to the ball too long, and he got swarmed. So I thought that put things in perspective. But that defense keeps coming at you, and Venables is a machine when he has talent on that side, whether you want to change looks on quarterbacks, whether you want to disguise blitzes, whether you just want to rotate personnel or you just want to attack, that's why he's one of the best. So really, really, really good football game. That was the most intriguing game to me today, and
Auburn impressed me in defeat.
Yeah,
I mean,
I did think the better team won.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's fair. I just think if you play that down on the Plains in Jordan Hare, Auburn's really good. That's I walk away from that thinking I think Arnold's limited. I think he's limited as a thrower. But I think that defense is really, really good on the Auburn side, and we know the Oklahoma defense is, and it needs to be because holy shit, their schedule just is unrelenting.
Next week at A&M, that's a big one, man.
After this, now I mean, the good news is I feel like the way the playoff works, these are like giant checks that you put in the bank that you're going to draw down on. In other words, when we get to the end of the year, you got a Baylor win. Well, Baylor got beaten by Arizona State, but forget it. You got the Michigan win. You got the Auburn win. That's two big wins that you've got already. And again, as you mentioned, you do have Kent State. That's going to be a tough one. That's actually Kent State is next for the Sooners. But then you got Texas. You got to go to Columbia. Ole Miss. The one thing I want to mention on Ole Miss, they cruised your man Trinidad Chambliss at the wheels. He can do it. He can do it if they need.
I think he makes them more dangerous.
I was going to say there's a case to be made that they're a little bit more multiple with him out there. They cruise easy. They have LSU next at 4-0. Just was watching them. Took Tulane plus the points. Steve Winters is a catastrophe this week. A catastrophe.
What? Where are we at?
Well, not any really. A lot of losses.
You don't have a win?
Well, see, the number on ESPN Bet the other night was Auburn was 7.5, but I'm like, that was ESPN Bet. And I'm like, but we got to fix that because I'm like, was that the 110 line? Because I'm not claiming victories on stuff that's bullshit lines. That's not what I do. Because a viewer's like, hey, this line's wrong. I'm like, I'm not responsible. I just picked the teams. Now, I will say at my shop, Bootleg, they were 7. So Auburn was getting 7. If that was the 110 price on ESPN Bet, fine. I don't know where they were getting that. But anyway, if that's that at the moment, I'm gonna try to nurse San Diego State to the finish line. We had Miami on the field up 14. They didn't get there. Had Army, they were down $1 million, got to overtime, didn't get there. Then I had some people like Tulane that were just
I had Tulane today too.
Team wrong side. Yeah, I'm out here flexing about leaving winners on the floor, and that's when the gambling gods are like, "Is this on? Is this on? Hey, dumbass! Hey, dumbass! It's me, the gambling god. Shut the fuck up. Okay, okay. Shut. Hey, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You're coming off stupid. So,
yeah, I mean,
anywho, go ahead.
There's some serious cash flow being thrown around because I saw Indiana get all the way to 7.5 today.
Well, the good news, if you had them on the steam, is you could have laid 52. Could have laid 52, and you'd have got there. Again, IU, I see you. Big eyeball emoji. Gave Nebraska, Steve. I'm going to start with the Michigan, which is the good. They, as advertised, their O-line versus Nebraska's run defense. Advantage Michigan, right? You're banking on, and I'm not banking on the black shirts. That whole black shirts thing is a little bit like Blacksburg, all right? I'm done with it. Like, I don't need to hear about your black shirts. Do that big X. All right. you guys, your run defense was a concern coming in. You gave up over 280 on the ground. Over 280 on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You got a little help there. You get a Raiola Hail Mary before the half. There's kind of a iffy, I thought, taunting call on after a stop. Nebraska hung around, but Steve, I think, what have they lost? 28 straight games against ranked teams? It's just astounding.
Brutal.
Just astounding. And you and I have said it for years about that fan base. Incredible passion. Your devotion, your insistence, like you could punt, you could be like, but you don't. And I mean, you're close-ish, but that's a good Michigan win. With Sharon's not there for this one. Biff, I think Michigan's like, hey, you go to Michigan, you're like, hey, you know what we're not going to do here in Ann Arbor? Wear a cut-off fucking robe.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and wear a quarter zip or something. But it's an impressive win for Michigan against a team in a spot that is desperate to get one. And you lean on your strengths, and 19, he's fast.
He's I was listening to Rick Neuheisel earlier this week, and I thought he made a great point. And he's like, I just wonder if Sharon being out this game and Biff being in Bryce Underwood's ear can give him a little bit of edge. And
that's interesting.
And he made the point. He's like, Sharon, they played it so tight to the vest in that game at Oklahoma. They just wanted to hang in the game and, be a one-score game. But then they didn't have Barham, and they're down 2 scores going in the half. And he's like, I just wonder knowing Biff. And then we had Biff on today, and that guy is not afraid.
No.
Just not afraid. Him and Nick were just going at each other.
That was awesome.
It was so good. So
he went back at Nick, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
That was,
Oh, he went up to Herbie and I at Oklahoma, and he's like, hey, tell Nick I'm coming for him. I'm like, oh, boy. And he starts telling the story. And I'm like, man. So ton of personality.
Yes.
Nick just called him an owner. I've never seen you coach it down in your life. Is that what you're doing at Michigan too?
Man, as you said, I learned it from you.
Yeah, it's all full circle. But just going back to the Indiana idea, Scott, I said in the preseason, this battle for the 4th spot, which I think is a playoff worthy spot in the Big Ten, is totally up for grabs. And you saw a bunch of teams in that conversation today. Michigan says, don't forget about us. Oh. Indiana says, we're here. Washington is a team that no one talks about. SC's playing Michigan State in a track meet right now, which we like to see. So it's there. It's really, really, I mean, we haven't even gotten to the Terps yet. They're undefeated. So it's really, it's going to sound crazy. We mentioned it last week with the idea of Notre Dame. There's going to be some damn good football teams with 3 losses. And they're going to have good wins, too, because of how big these conferences are. So it's just something to keep an eye on. But Michigan, I couldn't pick Nebraska. I wanted to. You said it. It's my favorite fan base in the sport. But the way they play, it kind of plays into Michigan's hands. They don't have any burners that take the top off. They don't really spread you. Dana's doing a bunch of his old offense with 2 tight ends, and when Michigan can play you in a box, they're gonna beat you up. And they got some home run hitters, man, running the football, and they showed out today.
They did. There were 3 different rushers had touchdowns, and they were long ones. And again, they ran for over 280. Michigan, the thought was they could do that. They did. And I got to tell you, when I watch Raiola, I think he floats around in the pocket, and it looks like it's super casual or something. Like, too many times I feel like he just floats backwards to the point where, remember that one game against overtime? I don't remember who it was against. It might have been Michigan State last year. Somebody
they lost in overtime to Illinois.
They ended up. It was like 4th and 50.
Yeah.
Because it's just this kind of float backwards. I don't know. I just don't know what you got there. He came in with a whole lot of rep and starts as a freshman. And I'm not calling him a bum. It's not it. I just think that there's time after time in games that I'm watching. I feel like, what are we doing there? Like hanging on to it, giving up on it, just tucking and rolling in the back of in the middle of the pocket. I don't know. And then there's the whole trying to do the Mahomes thing, which is just whatever.
Yeah.
He's not the first. Like Kobe impersonated Jordan his whole career. It's fine. Like find a great guy and impersonate him. I can't be mad at you for that. I just when I watch him, I'm like, you want him to be the guy. Kind of like what we talked about with Aller, right? Like when you come in with that kind of rep, I want you to be the guy. Lead him to a win because you're the guy. He's still very young, all things considered. So
that's
today he couldn't do it on his own.
When I watch him, it still looks like he can't adapt to not being able to get out of every jam physically anymore and having to be better mentally, say, pre-snap. You know, like you're talking about down and distance. Like, hey, it's 3rd and 8 here. You can't, do this floating thing or think you can avoid a sack and get out of it because your top end speed isn't what it used to be at the high school level now, man. You got some killers coming to get you. It's a learning process. It is.
It's like what Hasselbeck talked about with Williams the other day.
No, exactly.
Play on schedule. Can you play structure and schedule? Can you be in that and play in that? So the streak, unfortunately for Nebraska and their passionate fans, continues against ranked teams. They fall there. You talk about all these teams that there's going to be some good teams with 3 losses. There's a team that already has 3. And they're the team I said I believed in the most and was going to go to the title and win it. And that's Clemson. I joked around on winners. I hit him with an "Oh brother, where art thou" line in honor of Reese. Dabo's talking about being RUNNOFT, talking about being run offed. Syracuse went in there, Steve, and jumped him. We're up early, several scores early. They had yet another one of these prolonged weather delays. I wondered, can that help the home team? No. Syracuse was better. They're just better. So now this is a pair of losses on your home field and a win against a Troy team that you trailed by 16. And it's, middle of September. I don't know. I mean, there's a path, I suppose, for them they're going to have to get to Charlotte and win a spot, but they haven't been 1-3 in 20 years.
Yeah. And it's also to the point, I was thinking about it after they lost today, and I'm thinking about game day today, and I'm like, we spent a segment talking Clemson. We spent a segment talking arch struggles, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm done talking about the bad. There's too much good in this sport when we're talking about we got undefeated teams. We got new stories. We got teams like Maryland going to Madison. That was the first time you ever beat them?
It is.
In football.
Haven't played them much.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's just too much good. And with 12 teams getting in the playoff, I want to start counting on the good stuff. I get it. I didn't watch a snap of Clemson today because we were driving and I had the Utah game on the iPad, and that's what I was watching. So I can't assess things. I didn't even hear Dabo
peanut butter and jelly, and that offense for Syracuse. They did the damn thing. I
did see it. It looked like Achilles. That wasn't great.
Yeah, that's
when he turned around. I'm like, ugh.
And Jelly was 244 for 2 touchdowns, and then Collins had a touchdown as well. Yes, but Syracuse was again like we talk often I talk often about when a team that's the underdog wins a game, like it was an upset, but it wasn't an accident. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't. And I'm with you. There's good things to talk about, but I'm just owning this that I couldn't have been more wrong.
Oh.
I thought Clemson was something this year you could count on, and you can already count three L's, which is mind-boggling. I didn't think that would be what they were. Speaking of good things, dirty terms.
Oh,
come on!
I put it on for a drive. Malik threw 2 deep balls. It was like a 94-yard drive in the fourth quarter.
I mean, it
wasn't
too many
freshman. Plays. He could do it,
grandma.
Man.
No, I mean he's talented. The thing is, there's a bunch of young talent that young bull, 29, my man Stewart getting after it. There are a bunch of young players that are getting chances to play that are playing well. And I understand nationally that the lens that people are going to view this through and the way that people are tweeting about it in real time, God, Fickle. I didn't think this would be this. I thought Fickle would be perfect, and Wisconsin stinks. I appreciate that that's the national viewpoint. Camp Randall's a special place. It's an old, venerable stadium. It's a proud program that is one of those programs that sort of feels like they always, whether it was Bielema or Christ or Barry before that, like they, Rose Bowls, win 8 or 9 double-digit games. Like that's who they've been for a long time. Maryland beat the shit out of them from the start. And again, it was an upset, but it wasn't an accident. They jumped them early. They're blocking kicks and they're playing from ahead and they're booing and chanting fire Fickle. And I think Big Cat told me now Maryland's officially in the Big Ten because he is, the de facto commissioner. So thank you, Big Cat, for admitting Maryland into the conference. But the other day I was talking about Maryland's athletic director and talking about how in like the UCLA situation, when you're in a college atmosphere, but you're in an urban setting, that it can be hard and you kind of got to win fans over. This is the perfect setup for Maryland because you win a game in a noon window that's got like a national audience against a known program. You got a bye week, and then you have Washington coming in who hasn't lost a game, who's never been to our part of the world. So here it is in front of you. Free grandma. Malik, the freshman, is as advertised, haven't lost. A week to get the bandwagon fired up. Come on out, support the team because, like I said the other day, it's a fan base that kind of wants you to earn it and then they'll give it. Well, they're earning it.
Yeah. Like, what else do they need to do, man?
What else do you want?
Come on.
I'll bang the drum. Give me that Purdue drum. I'll bang that big-ass Purdue drum, but for Maryland and say, come on out. You got UW coming in. See what we got. But, another social media thing is, well, he's not going to play for Maryland next year because some school's going to come back up a truck and give him NIL money. It's like, you don't think he could have gotten that this year to go someplace? Everybody wanted him. He was an Elite 11 quarterback. He was a local kid that decided to stay home. Now, he should get a ton of money if he's this good all year long. But you know what? Back to RAD. My guy Jim Smith, I bet you he's in the ear of the people that matter to say, we can't lose this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland will make sure the money's right for the young man. So, relax. Jim didn't tell me that. I'm telling Jim that.
There you go.
We'll rally the troops. But it was fun. It was fun to watch Maryland go up there and play a game like that.
Exactly. And this is why you Maryland people are out of your minds. You're in the midst of the best win of the season, and you can't even enjoy it because they're wondering about the future. I'm like, what is wrong with you people?
I try to tell them, relax.
Yeah.
Enjoy the now.
Enjoy a win.
Right. If you can't do that, like what's the point?
Looks like Wando's got invaded by some Terps too.
Well, I mean, we made sure they knew where to go. He told them when they showed up, "You're too old for fish bowls," which is correct.
That group would have taken down some fish bowls. Don't you worry.
I told them there was one guy in particular, my man Ricky. He could go. And you know what? I say could. He still can. He's still fit and able.
Yes.
And they might have stuck around, and although I don't know, they're with one. They might be that PJ might have been back heading east after the dub. I have no idea. Maybe they're still on State Street. I don't know.
Maybe. No, it's awesome. It's really, really
I wrote
cool.
down like Oregon easy over, like they don't call it the Civil War anymore, but it's it's always going to be a rivalry game. They beat Oregon State easy, so we can already start looking ahead to that big one with Penn State next weekend.
We'll be there.
They want to. Have y'all announced?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so wait, so game day is going to be at the game that isn't our game?
Correct.
Oh, it's funny how that happens. Funny how that happens. Because I was under the impression that it was, yeah. That show goes to whatever the best game is, and then it'll be at the. I just want to make sure I understand this right, just so for all the aggregator media follower people.
Yeah,
game day they'll be at the Oregon Penn State game. Okay, that's
Big
good
Ten
news.
conference game.
Right, we don't have that one anymore, but game day will be there. Gotcha.
Trying to figure out what's the name of the place we're doing the show. We're on the.
Oh, that's how Air Force didn't cover? Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, my God.
I was wondering how much time was left. I needed a field goal from Oregon to cover, and they kicked it. I think it was 6 minutes in there.
I don't know. I know there's some absolutely horrific bad beats. There was a returned onside kick for a touchdown for the cover. That was down in Bowling Green, Western Kentucky. Did that one to Nevada. Tough one. I don't want to get anybody fired. Last week we talked about Virginia Tech and UCLA in this space. Buddy, or should I say Bunky, Tulsa went into Stillwater and beat Oklahoma State after they got absolutely boat raced by Oregon and had a week to get ready for an in-state team that they don't lose to, and they lost. Like, that's just done.
Mm-hmm.
Done. I don't know what you do I don't know what you do in that spot.
Pete said it sounds like it's going to come like a wholesale change, the whole athletic department. And yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, we had it on along with the shootout in Piscataway last night. But when Oklahoma State scored a touchdown last night, I believe it was 109 minutes since their last touchdown. And that came in the fourth quarter in their week 1 win over UT Martin. So, yeah, that was a rough one. Not pretty.
No.
And Tulsa didn't even have their quarterback.
They didn't. That's sort of how down bad the Cowboys are, which is wild to see. I don't know what else I have for you. The card's cluttered. How was Prime 112, Steve?
Oh. When we go out to dinner, we don't get cheated, right? We eat well. I can't believe how much I ate that night. It is as proper a setting, mood, vibe, meal, quenching of thirst. It just has everything. And Miles and his team there are just incredible. Like I said, in the past, the best. Yeah. And I'll put it up there with best meal there is. I really will. And he just knows how to do it. You know what you're getting into.
You can't maintain your position among like America's most sort of profitable hotspot restaurants. Like, they come and go, but that has been that for I don't even know how long, but a long time. And I mean, it's Collins Avenue. It's a scene.
Oh,
it's a scene. But as you say, like, the man understands hospitality. Like the great hosts that we're lucky enough to know, our travels, we've intersected with a lot of folks. that he just knows how to do it, and it takes great care. And I was very envious knowing that you were there. Did you get the fried Oreos afterwards?
Yes, with some ube. Are you familiar with ube?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got to the point. I was like, you shouldn't be eating this, but it
No,
was
but you
so
go
good.
with the bonus. You go bonus bites to discomfort.
But he has these things like I forgot what they call them. They have a name for everything, obviously. And Kevin, our waiter, was just awesome. Just he's got the goods, and it's like all right, I think we'll start with some fried calamari. He's like, no, you're not. He's like, you like crab? He's like, we have crab legs that are fried. I'm like, so we don't know work or not. He's like, no, they're fried and they're dipping sauce, and you dip them in the sauce. They were the best tasting things I've had in a long time, and the steak was unbelievable. The family style, man, God, it was so good.
You order like 11 sides and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
With anybody.
Did they ask about me, and like, was I part of the crew that was there at the Prime Italian at the scene of the crime? Like, was that brought up?
There was Miles was trying to find evidence, whether it was a picture or whatever, because he used to have a spot. He was showing us pictures from the weekend that Notre Dame played Alabama in the national championship. He was showing how people like just thought they could walk up and get a table that whole weekend. And it was just like, it looked like there was like a street concert going on, but it was people trying to get in there. But he was, he still remembers that night where,
I bet he does.
He did ask if I knew your college friends. That was the question. And our guy Moneyline Mike came, so he got the story from Miles, which he was basically on the floor laughing at. He didn't believe it. He just kept saying, I can't imagine how mad Scott was. And I was like, Mike, I think it was the word irate. And
I've never been that mad in my life. I told the story on SVP and Rosillo the Monday after we were down in Miami. We were down for a bachelor party for a friend in Miami, and we'd spent the day at the Fontainebleau, day drinking the entire day. And we went to an Italian restaurant. It's been long enough, and I haven't been back. I don't mind mentioning it. It's an excellent Italian restaurant called Macaluso. And
I couldn't remember it. You go ahead.
Macaluso, it's fantastic. And we were there as a group, and many were overserved. And the chef in this restaurant, so the story goes, likes a certain vibe. It's the dining experience is, it's not a scene. It's not loud. We were loud. And as we ate, it was loud. One guy got up, gave a speech. You could see the chef like looking up, like, what are we doing? Like a fork hit the ground, and then people started intentionally knocking forks off because that's really funny. And then there was loud shushing. Shh, shh. After the appetizer portion of our meal had been served, the servers came with checks, and they said, you can't stay. Now, I would say we were obnoxious, but to be kicked out was excessive. All right?
This is a table of 15, 20?
Minimum. Okay. There were many of us. And as I described that following Monday on the radio, we walked in like a herd of oxen. Obnoxious, yes. An ejectionable offense, no. Nevertheless, here's your bill. You have to go. All right. We settle up and out we go. We're outside this place. It's a strip mall. I don't even know where it is in relation to where we were, but it isn't close to anything. And some of the bozos in our group are like, oh, no, they called a call for us. They called cars for us. I'm like, they called for a car? They kicked us out of the fucking restaurant. They didn't call us Ubers. I don't think we had Ubers at the time. We're just wandering aimlessly in parts unknown Miami because we were kicked out of this restaurant. What are we going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit my guy up down in Prime 112 / Prime Italian, my guy Miles. It's Saturday night. We need a 20 top. Sure, at 8 o'clock, unannounced. They set us up outside like the Goodfellas scene where they're walking through and Henry Hill's walking through the Copa and they're like tables are coming out. They set us up a 20 top outside. It's gorgeous. We're in Collins Ave, 20. The vibes, the scene. And in the middle of this scene, my friends decide, I know what I'll start doing. I'll start chucking plates in the fucking street. Glasses, stemware. And I'm like, what are we doing? And everyone's like, wee! And it's like fireworks are going off. One glass after another. And there's like middle-aged adults. Like, that I don't really know well. But I look at him, I'm like, what are you doing? And you just, every couple of minutes, you just hear, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not embellishing. Stemware, flatware, in the middle of the road. After this person who didn't owe us anything, no good deed goes unpunished. Here's a 20 top on a Saturday night. And we're texting this week, and he's like, yeah, I'll never forget the text. The SVP party's throwing glasses in the street. And I'm like, and the manager is like, no, it's okay. I'm like, it's so far from okay. Nothing is okay about this. And I couldn't make it stop because everyone was criminally overserved and they were just throwing. And Miles, I'm like, send us the bill. He's like, nah, we needed some new plates. That's how the king of hospitality in South Beach responds to the thank you we gave him for the table on no notice. Nah, we needed some new. It was tired. We had tired flatware. Thanks. You guys did us a favor. Oh, you want us to come in and break some more? No, we're all set. So the fact that he responds at all to any text I send, request of any kind, just speaks to the benevolent nature of this man. But that's when I came in and I said I wanted to break up with my friends because that's what they did. Hate is what it was. And I mean, they're my friends. It's you can't divorce them. It's just we're pot committed to one another. But that's not how anyone should act, correct?
Correct. And I can't imagine it at that place. It's so nice. It's so nice and good.
And you just look and I'm like, oh God, please, I think we're good. It's not going to happen. We're done. No one's doing it anymore. And then you just see like over the head with a big wine, with a goblet. What are we doing? Oh my God, man! I'm starting to sweat right now. I'm sweating. I'm having residual schwitzing.
Well, we got the national championship here, so.
Well, they're not coming.
None
of you are invited.
We'll go do it right.
Yes, that's actually right. We'll be there for that.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun.
Yes.
Try not to chuck shit in the street. What else is there? Anything else? Oh, yeah. Wait. I have. Go ahead.
I got a couple teams I want to talk about.
Please.
Vanderbilt is real.
Yeah, they scored 70?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I took Georgia State. Didn't get there.
Oh, sorry about that.
I mean, it was 28 and a hook. Seemed like that was going to be enough. Vandy is real. I said it the other night. It's like I said they're real and they're ranked and they're real. But it felt like 28 and a half. The ranked and real is what was my assessment. Okay, go ahead. Real.
I still don't know what to make of BYU. I didn't see them against East Carolina. They came into. They only gave up one touchdown. I think that's the first one they gave up this year. And TCU does not play Texas Tech, but I believe Hoover and that offense are serious. And people can say what they want about SMU's defense because Baylor beat them and went up and down the field, but the way TCU does it, it's super polished, man. Hoover is super accurate, and they got some guys on the perimeter that are excellent. So I'm interested in that. Louisville put up 40 on Bowling Green. They beat James Madison, who I think is a good team. But these teams, Memphis beating Arkansas.
Arkansas fumbled going in. That's 2 weeks in a row that I think there'll be a problem for Notre Dame next week, although Notre Dame got right and scored $1 million a day against Purdue. But
their defense
Arkansas
is not
fumbled.
Right.
True, but their offense can go, and they're knocking on the door. People are all suggesting Memphis needs to let them score, which I actually thought made sense at the time. It felt like you're not going to stop them. There's something to be said for, all right, if we get the ball back, at least we'll have a chance. Or if we get a fumble, we win. And they did. Memphis hadn't lost, yeah? 4-0.
Yeah, that the American is real. That's going to be a good fight. I know Tulane got dominated today, but they're still going to be heard from.
Okay.
The projected worst team in the Big 12 today was a 7.5, 8.5 point favorite over Chapel Hill, and they gave it to them. So I don't know what to think.
About North Carolina, I do. They stink.
Okay.
Happy to help you. I mean, we saw it that first week against TCU. Terrible on lines of scrimmage.
Do you have UL Monroe?
I explained on the at the end of winners that the last two I was picking between was UL Monroe and San Diego State.
Oh.
And I wasn't sure which one I wanted to give out. And Monroe should have been given out at UTEP, but I gave San Diego State. Well, as we speak, second half, San Diego State is ahead. Cal had a 21-play drive that got to the 2-yard line and ended with 0 points. Hard to have a 21-play drive with no points, but that did happen.
Did Temple
Why'd
cover?
you ask if on the last 3 seconds of the game? That will be in bad beats.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have the stones to give Temple after last week when I gave them against Oklahoma.
It happens.
Yeah. What'd you give today?
I gave Oregon and Florida State and Tulane.
So 2-1?
We'll take it.
Winning week. Better than 2-8.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm not even 2-8. I mean, Cal could score 28 in the second half, and I won't even get that. I heard from barn wedding people, Steve.
Oh.
There are passionate folks about the barn wedding. They took great umbrage at our suggestion about the outhouses, which really, I mean, we were just kind of having some laughs. I mean, I tried to explain that these places are sort of like a Hollywood, it's like a movie set. It's like a faux barn. So your grandma doesn't have to take a dump on a porta potty at these weddings. All right. There's proper setups. They're quite nice. People took it to be that we're elitist assholes looking down on. No, I'm not an elitist asshole because I'm talking about barn weddings. I'm an elitist asshole because I have $900 octopus swimsuit. It doesn't cost $900. Tell your parents, not $900. But I was just struck by how incredibly
Passionate?
people are about. Well, my suggestion was more that it just feels kind of like a trend. That I wonder, is it a sustainable thing, or are people going to look back after the fact and go, "Huh, I don't know, why'd we do that? I don't know. It was a thing." People are very happy to have their barn weddings, and I mean this sincerely. If you have it and you love it, that's awesome. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's a day for you and your bride, you and your husband. It should be great, and if it is, wonderful. So that's my message to the barn wedding folks. Heard you.
Got it.
And to my friends that are podcast listeners that were there that night, I didn't embellish one bit. You all were completely out of line. And you...
Do you forgive them?
No. I don't. They're adult people. People make mistakes. Kids make mistakes. Grown-ups can make mistakes too. These were drunk idiots that didn't make mistakes. They made horrendous choices that reflected poorly on all of us. Do I forgive them? I do not.
They know who they are.
All of them.
Yep.
Okay. Home game for us Monday night?
Yeah, were you driving to Baltimore together?
Yeah, are you coming over here?
Yeah.
And then we'll drive together? Isn't that what we did when we went for the playoff game?
Yeah.
All right,
come
and then we
home
fire it up.
Come home and do a pod after it?
No, Tuesday. I mean, we could. We could just bang it out late night. I'm sure the folks from Omaha in the back going, no. One of our folks got my neighbor giving him the what for, knocking on the glass. He was parked out front waiting to come up here. I got a text going, hey, sorry, I think I might have frightened one of the folks helping you out. You doing a podcast? I'm like, yeah. Why? This is my big strapping neighbor. Like, you don't want to mess with this guy.
No.
Yeah, I appreciate our neighbors looking out for us.
Yeah.
He's somebody, Rob looks like a miscreant. Looks like a ne'er-do-well. No, he doesn't. He's a wonderful guy. Not here to harm anyone or take anything that doesn't belong to him. All right.
It's going to be hard to go to bed. These
Why?
are
too many games.
Compelling games.
There are some compelling games. You know
SC
what?
Sparty's an awesome game.
It is a really good game, and if it were later in the year, we'd stay to tell you who won. But right now, it's too early, and we got flag football early, and we got some stuff to figure out because our flag team stinks.
We got to get in the win column.
I think one of the teams did. The other, the team that we're now quarterbacking. We're working on it. We had some stuff Friday. We're going to go some double moves. All they do is work.
I want to see.
And some mesh concepts. It confuses children. That's the late, great Mike Leach that said that.
That's a fact. So
mesh
you are
confuses grown-ups.
You are playing UW at home on October 4th, right?
Yeah, not this week. Not next week, the week after.
Could you get Big Noon to come to you? Yes.
We could be Big Noon. You know what I do? I'll go and I'll be Big Nude.
Wait. Washington's playing Ohio State this week.
Yeah, but then if they come next week, I'll go be Big Nude. Hey, is that guy? Wait, is he naked? Big Nude. How about that? I'll just stand in the back with a sign. I don't know if that's what they're looking for.
No.
My friends from Fox, don't worry, I'm not going to come with my junk out. Might go to the game.
As good as this week's slate of games were,
next week
is loaded. Loaded. Buckle up.
I'm just going to need to refocus and recalibrate everything. Everything's out the window.
I'm going to give you two teams right now that are already going to be on winners.
Arkansas?
Yep. And
go ahead.
My God. Oh,
what?
This is GPG automatic. Put it in stone.
Who's the teams?
Corn at home plus 2.5 against Indiana.
Let me bathe in it.
Let
me bathe in your crops.
That is
crop bathing.
That symbolizes winners more than any game in the history of games.
So a team that just won 63-10 over the number 9 team in the country is laying but 2.5 skinny little points against Iowa and Kinnick. Oh,
that's
my!
What's posted right now.
What is the legal limit, and how may I exceed it? Come on.
Who takes credit?
Huh? You?
No, I'm going to say, like, you're going to be calling. Take credit.
Yeah, no. Can I get a marker? This bootleg site I'm invested in, I don't even know.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I wish that was a night game. 3:30, 2:30 local.
Who's got that? Is that an NBC game?
Yeah, Peacock.
Oh, it's on the cock?
Yep.
And NBC?
No, I believe this one's just Peacock.
No, because today I thought the Maryland game was on, but it was on regular NBC.
Yeah, I couldn't. I went to Big Ten Network, FS1, looking for Maryland. I'm like,
3 letters, buddy. Network TV. That's all. That's what you need to look for.
There we go.
Come on. All right. Well, wow.
Yeah. See if
I'm not. You know, I just need to get a Chinese food and get I need a fortune.
Fortune cookie?
Yeah. What was last year's?
I opened it.
Yeah, but it was the fortune that changed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like don't see. I should remember, but it was something about
fearless.
No, it was about trust your gut, but don't believe that it's enough or something. I don't know. Whatever it was, everything turned around after that. So I'm going to order some Chinese this week and get right back at it.
Do you know how to order anything besides Chinese on the apps?
Yes, Steve. I just like it.
Okay.
Because I found
a question.
No, you're suggesting that I'm like
no. I've never seen you order anything else.
That's right, but I know what you're saying. Like,
all right.
You only know how to do one thing, which is order from that young Fong.
Have you ordered anything else?
Yes, I got a burrito bowl.
Oh, nice.
Double chicken. Never triple chicken.
Early line posted. Oregon at Penn State.
Is that Penn State 3?
And a hook. And the same line is Alabama at Georgia.
Georgia's 3?
And a hook.
People are gonna push with size because they think they decided Alabama stunk because of the Florida State game. That's premature, I think.
I'm on Penn State. I'm not getting off.
That'll make you popular next week.
Yeah, get to go to the creamery. Is that what it is? Creamery?
Yeah. Delicious. Bring back some of that double Death by Chocolate, I think it is, or something. It's so good. Yeah. You won't.
No.
Come here. All right, Red is making his annual pilgrimage in here to say I need to take a leak. He's had enough. We'll see all of you on Monday Night Countdown. Sports Center Sunday following the action. We'll be back here Tuesday at some point to commiserate.
We need 20 minutes for Bad Beats Monday. It sounds like
it's going to be a lengthy run. Thank you all for listening, except for my friends who I'm mad at all over again for that episode. See you Tuesday.